What's good, y'all? Welcome back to Take a Time Out. This is episode number 35. I know a player that's number 35.
KD.
Yep, KD. I was making sure everybody knew it because he didn't know Larry Bird last week, so I was making sure. All right. The segment we got for the new year is New Year's resolutions for these following NBA teams. So if you was this team going into the new year, what would be your resolution or fix you would like to call? Just a new thing you'd like to do for the year. So we're going to start off with the Bulls. And if I was to pick one thing, it would be to sell everything and build around Kobe White. Dude's been hooping, like putting up 20 points per game, looking really good. So that'd probably be my New Year's resolution, is just to, what we've continued to say episode after episode, is that the Bulls need to sell.
Yep, I was actually gonna say exactly what you said. Kobe White's been coming with the absence of Zach LaVine. Kobe White's been coming into his true form this year. They actually play statistically better without Zach LaVine. If you look at the numbers, like when Zach LaVine's out, they've been playing a lot better basketball. The Bulls have. So I agree with everything Dom said. For my New Year's resolution, I would sell Vucevic, DeRozan, and start building for the future. It's about time. They've been kind of pushing it off for the last 2 years, but I think it's about time this year.
Yeah, I don't have too much more to add to that. We've already kind of been hammering it home that the Bulls need to sell and really just like hone in on resetting what you have, because what you had has completely fell apart and it didn't get you anywhere to begin with.
All right, the Raptors.
Skipping the Hawks.
Oh, yeah, the Hawks. I'm sorry, the Hawks. If I had a New Year's resolution for the Hawks, it'd probably be something we also already talked about, but DeAndre Hunter, I mean, you got to switch something up because you're middle of the pack and you have a lot of money surrounding two players. Got to switch something up, whether that look like Bogdanovich or somebody's got to go. Maybe flip Bogdanovich and Hunter into something like a Pascal or something, but make a trade at the trade deadline. That'd be my resolution.
I got some. Hire a defensive-minded coach and try to trade for a good defensive backup point guard to kind of fill in for Trae Young at times. I think they lack against other guards, so that'd be – the offense is there sometimes, but defense is just terrible.
Yeah, I agree with that point. The Hawks, actually, there was a rumor yesterday. I don't know if you guys seen it. DeJounte Murray is wanted by the Lakers. That's who they're targeting in this trade deadline. So I don't know if that's going to come to life. But honestly, would you guys hate the release of DeJounte Murray for the Lakers? Because there was like a package I seen. There was like I think it was like Hachimura, Austin Reeves in a first, and you get DeJounte Murray.
I mean,
That's a lot to give up, though.
I'm not going to lie. Like, that deal would have to include Austin Reeves.
It would.
It would just have to.
It would.
Like, there's no way you would get that deal done without including someone.
But the Lakers, like, who
But
aren't they involved with?
They're involved.
And, like,
we hear every
how
name
does that
on the market with the
Lakers.
Lakers.
That, like, necessarily even really, like,
I think it'd be a good fit for the
take the
Lakers.
Lakers
It
over
would
the
be,
top.
but I don't
But
know.
you also would have to give up a lot of your core pieces. But that was just something I heard. My New Year's resolution for the Hawks, definitely what James said. There's not really much playmaking outside of Trae Young. Definitely need some type of person to come in there that be like a second ball handler for him. I know DeJounte's been doing it, but like when they're both not on the court. Another thing I would like to see is, like Dom said, they're in the middle of the pack. Even last year wasn't kind of a year they weren't really expecting. They need to really make some changes. I'm not exactly sure what that change would be, but they definitely need to make a trade or two on this upcoming deadline to at least start making more of a better playoff push, I guess to say.
for me, it's give it a little bit more time. I think there's definitely things that they can do before the trade deadline, but I mean, they're still going to make the playoffs. And if this offense can get hot, like they're up there with the Pacers, at least in terms of the Eastern Conference, the Celtics, like they can put points on the board. Now, do they lack in other aspects? 100%. But this is still a playoff team that we're talking about.
All right, the Raptors. We've seen Scotty Barnes kind of regress to the mean a little bit. If I had a resolution, it would be to trade Pascal Siakam. I think it's time. I mean, you're looking at I looked at everybody's record kind of before this, and they're like 11 and 18 going into the day. So, yeah, they're on the outside looking in. Nothing to really play for except maybe a deep draft. So we'll see.
Yeah, thinking about the Raptors' overall roster, it seems like they've been kind of just still trying to make a team like a push to the playoff, but I don't think their team's even close to a playoff team ready. They definitely have the defense, but what they don't have is the offense. And one thing I feel like they really lack is a lot of playmaking. I mean, Dennis Schroeder, I'm not saying he's a bad point guard, but at best, in my eyes, he's a role-playing point guard. He's definitely a defensive minder. I think they kind of need, like you said, Dom, to kind of move off some of their players now, get some assets like Pascal Siakam. You could definitely get some good packages for, or even Anobi. Kind of build towards around Scotty Barnes. He's a great player. Can play almost like the 1 through 4. Could even play the 5 probably. I would definitely kind of make more of a rebuild and start seeing what these younger guys have in them.
I don't have too much more to add, other than they're really missing Fred VanVleet.
They are. Gary Trent Jr. definitely took a regress this year too.
Yeah.
So that's
Gary
another thing
Trent
that
ain't
hurt
been
him.
looking the same. All right, the Spurs. I got something for this. The resolution would be, so this is a long shot, but throw everything you can and try to get Cade Cunningham. Bill Simmons is the one that sparked this all over the place. People were talking about it. But, I mean, what are the Pistons really trying to do? Like, what's their talk about a franchise that doesn't know what the heck they're doing? We talked about how they don't know how to build around Cade. Maybe they just don't want Cade anymore.
They're on the worst losing streak in
Yeah.
NBA history.
And like James talked about, this is great for Detroit that the Lions are winning, and then they're still packing the house for the Pistons because they're trying to see their team. Like,
Complete
it's crazy.
opposite ends in that city. Yeah, definitely. That's actually really interesting because I love Cade Cunningham. That and like Victor package would be really disgusting. So honestly, if there was any time to buy a player from the Pistons, that would be now. I mean,
what I'm saying, yeah.
I mean, they're literally, we all know, on 27-game losing streak, just took the wrong end of history. I guess that's a really good thing to note, the possibility. But I think for the Spurs team, something to be a little bit more realistic. I'm not saying that's not, because I definitely see it happening, but kind of like just I would play this year out. There's not much you really are playing too much for this year besides just the development of Victor. Next year you have a lot of free agency money. Go get some free agents or get some more assets from the draft. And start building players around Victor. That's my New Year's resolution for them for 2024.
One thing was watching the Spurs. Some of these like young guards, Jeremy Shohan, is that his name? It's like watching this team play. It kind of reminds me. It was kind of before our time. It looks like the team when LeBron went to the Cavs. Like these players aren't like. This is Wemby's team, and I think some of these players are trying to like prove it's their team in a way, like trying to.
I agree.
They
100%.
resent Wemby.
I 100% agree.
Exactly,
really do.
and I don't understand because everything goes through Wemby, in my opinion. Like this is your franchise player for the next 15 to 20 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, like look at the guy,
And it was like that for LeBron when he first got to Cleveland. They resented
They didn't
him.
respect him.
They didn't respect him. So either it's get those guys out or change their attitudes, bring in guys like Cade Cunningham, but stuff like that has to change because when you got Jeremy Shohan like putting up more shots than Wemby or playing more minutes, stuff like that just can't be happening.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think Victor's usage should be kind of something like Joel Embiid and that type of thing. I mean, obviously, they're different years of players, but, I mean, first overall pick, we all know the Victor hype. And I think I can definitely touch base off of James. Like, that's 100% factual. There's a lot of clips, if you watch these Spurs games and watch them, like, where Victor's in a prime position to score or they'll just have, like, Sochan or even, like, Vassell or Brandon just run around with the ball, and I really don't think they're using Victor to the max capability they could. Like, they're really not. I agree with James. Like, outside of just looking into next year, like, for this year, they need to focus on getting Victor the rock, and he needs to put up at least 20 to 25 shots, in my opinion.
For me, what I was gonna say was the Jeremy Sochan experiment it's done for. Like you can't rely on that. There shouldn't even be like just like him being the essentially the point guard. Yeah, it's just like you are not gonna win games like that, and they haven't been. But to like add on what you're saying about the Twitter clips, it seems like almost like every Spurs game, there's a clip that comes out where Wemby's like jumping for an alley-oop, and it's such an easy play, and like they just they don't care.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's. I think I'm with James. Like you have to shift those guys out.
It's bad checking halftime stats and then seeing Victor have like 7 shots put up for the whole half.
Yeah,
against
like,
a team he should have been dominating.
Yeah, like you can't play pickup basketball anymore and be like, dang, that was some Spurs ball movement. You can't do that no more. You just can't do it. All right, the Suns. Yeah, like if we had to go back and do our tiers list, I'm flipping the Clippers with the Suns. Does that sound about right?
Yeah, that sounds about right. I mean, I was kind
they've done a
of
complete.
questioning that when
Yeah,
you put the
you
Suns
was.
up there.
Yeah, so you start. Yeah, do you have a resolution?
Give it time. Give it time.
Yeah,
I
let play
think
out.
we don't have a sample size of the 3 main guys that this team is built around.
Yeah.
Once we get later on to the season, we'll have a lot wider of a sample size. But even like the Clippers, once they got fully healthy and got things going, like we said, we just swapped positions with them. Like they're a contender right now. So even though the Suns haven't looked great recently, like just give it time throughout the season.
My New Year's resolution for the Suns, kind of touching base off of Nate, it's like off the given time thing, is like just get healthy, man. I mean, we have seen like probably 2 or 3 games where all these 3 players, their star players, have played together. I mean, Bradley Beal came back and got hurt before halftime. And he did look good when he was playing. But yeah, outside of Devin Booker, KD, at this very moment, there's literally no back help from the Suns. Eric Gordon has flashes here and there, maybe Grayson Allen on Christmas, but outside of that, you're not getting much outside of those 2 players. So my New Year's resolution would be get healthy. And honestly, I could see it happening. Like they need to get some more depth, make maybe a few trades for some role players to kind of support KD and Devin when they're not on the court. So that's my New Year's resolution.
All right. I mean, I agree with what y'all said. Wait for next. I mean, the last thing we had was the Pistons. Man,
We can talk about them real quick.
You got one? Because I don't even really got one.
I do. I mean,
Win a game. That's your New
First
Year's
off-
resolution.
Yeah.
Win a game.
first off, yeah, let's not cash the 100,000. Maybe do you see people bet that $5 for 5K for the Pistons to not win a game this year?
Oh, yeah,
I bet there's a positive cash out right now. But anyway, yeah, I guess the only thing that you can look forward to beating the Pistons is really decide if you're going to build around Cade Cunningham. If not, start shipping house with some of these players or something, man. I mean, 27 losses, that's literally historically the worst ever. So something needs to change. I think everyone knows something needs to change. They're probably going to be the first team to change something, so they need to do it soon. So that's my resolution. That's really it.
Real quick, I'm not saying it's impossible, but I don't know if I see this team selling. Like I feel like they're trying to.
Nah, they're
They
gonna
even
sell.
said that they want to get another shooting guard because, like, they're trying to win games.
I think at this point in the season, there's no any direction you can really go that's positive besides winning a few games now. Like Bogdanovich, if they're not part of your future plan, I say like literally sell those players. So I don't know.
I mean, our last segment we did on the NFL one, we're going to spin a wheel. We're going to spin a wheel and debate these players. I'll have it on the screen. We're just going to do a little spin. So let me think.
Let's do something different.
I'm excited
Different
about
lineups. We're going to
this.
do James and Dom and me and Nate now.
Yeah.
Different
Yeah,
lineups.
I didn't get to go against James. Yeah, we'll do me and James first real quick.
And these
All
are all stars, a.k.a. not superstars. So.
If I'm
Alright,
Dom,
let's pick
I want a Celtics
Alright, this is
player
me.
like Jaylen
Ooh,
Brown.
Jaylen Brown. All right, what does Dom got?
Can't go
I mean, what,
last.
is,
Dom
what does
hasn't
James
watched-
get?
Or no one has watched
I'm
more
cooked.
JB.
Jaylen
I'm
Brown?
so cooked.
No. James, just look at me real quick.
Hey, that's
Oh,
that's a good
gosh.
case.
Joel
Joel.
Embiid. No, you're what you mean you're good?
This is like, so I did this off of the Ringers list. Brown was 25, and Embiid was 3. So odds are stacked against me, baby. But you go first because I got the disadvantage.
Okay. So we take a guy like Joel Embiid. First and foremost, just going to put my point out there, he's better than Jaylen Brown. The reason he's better than Jaylen Brown is that he can use both hands. All right, we're going to first start with that. This is a man that is coming into his second MVP type of season. This is going to be, back-to-back MVPs. I think only 6 other people have done that in history.
Yep.
So Jaylen Brown's nowhere near that. We don't know if he's even viable to be a franchise player by himself. He's always going to be the Robin to Jason Tatum's Batman. And when you look at a guy like Embiid, he's
the Batman.
He's Superman
Yeah.
to Lois Lane being Tyrese Maxey. So like these are two different types. It's just not even close in my opinion.
He's bringing out the superhero analogies.
No,
I
that
don't
was
know.
some good arguments, but
That was nice.
we're not basing off who's the better player. We're basing it the best argument. So let's hear it.
All right. So he's talking about all these accolades, right? And I'm not going to throw any accolades up there because JP don't have any big ones. But what I will tell you right now is when you talk about a player, I'm asking you right now, what kind of player do you want? Do you want a regular season free throw merchant, or do you want a playoff performer that's been to the finals and continues to beat this dude in the playoffs every year? Every year they match up, right? It's like people talk about the Lakers-Celtics rivalry. No, the real rivalry is 76ers-Celtics. That's the real rivalry. We play them every year, and it goes the same every year. Embiid locks up Horford, and Brown has a good series. I mean, Brown has always played good against Joel Embiid. It's proven night in and night out that he can get to the rim at will and shoot threes. He'll take, like, we've seen him have an 8.83 game this year. So when people talk about his left hand, I think he's been making it a point this year. He's been going left a lot more. I forget who we were playing, but he threw up a layup, flashed the crowd with his left hand. Like, that's the mentality he's coming out with this year. We're the best team in the league. And when you talk about two players up there, I think we got the better one.
All right. James gets some closing remarks since he started first. I think it's only fair. You get like a 30 seconds to a minute.
I ain't got nothing else to say. I proved my point.
He likes
I don't know, man. The
This is
superhero
one
on
of
that.
those comments.
That was nice.
The superhero that was nice.
Because he said Jaylen Brown is the Robin to Jason Tatum's Batman.
know.
I was like, he's kind of spitting right there. Because when you think of the Celtics, like the best player, Jason Tatum. It's not arguable.
I'm just trying to think of the better argument. And honestly, like,
But like
Dom came strong.
I said Dom came back strong.
But
He basically said Jaylen Brown owns.
I know.
Embiid.
But at the same time, I don't know if I can get past that Batman. That's like almost, that Batman, the Robin. And then he caught out with a superhero. That's got to be my stamp, man.
I think I'm gonna have to rock with Dom here.
I'm gonna rock with
'cause, like,
James.
he ended strong. He basically told us.
Yeah,
how
but second gets an advantage compared to first.
JB owns Embiid.
I don't know.
don't
I
know.
think James
That
made
was
some
nice.
good points.
This is one where
This could be a comment one, another pool.
All right, comments. You come out, man. We'll put this on TikTok maybe if it makes the clips, and let us know, man.
All right, so what we're going to do is the winner of us.
I feel like we can't tie.
Yeah, we can't tie. That's what I'm saying. All right, so how about this? The winner of me and you, Nate, are going to face one of them. And then the winner is going to go into the finals. Actually, that makes no sense.
That makes no sense.
You guys just go. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll figure it
All
out.
right.
All right,
Just
this,
send Dom through because I went through last time.
all right, this is Kyler's spin. All right, we got respin.
Yeah, we got to spin. We can't do Jalen Brown again.
Hey, these are all top 25 players.
Don't give me Bam.
Oh, you got so
Yes.
lucky.
Kevin Durant.
Yes.
We don't even need Kevin Durant.
Ooh.
This is Nate's guy, De'Aaron
So,
Fox.
you got your guy. All right, let's rock, paper, scissors first to go first. Actually, no, I'll go first because then I want to make some closing remarks.
Okay.
So, honestly, what do I really got to start when I say to KD, man? I mean, we got a chip. I don't care if people say it's fraudulent. A chip's a chip. He's wearing it on his finger. We got a chip. That's the first thing we're going to say. Second thing is this is arguably probably the most gifted scorer of all time. I think he was the first player of his skill set to really set the tone in the league of people with height dribbling like guards. It's the first of his kind, really. KD has been an MVP. Has he been an MVP?
Yes.
Yeah, I was going to say. He's been an MVP. He's got a chip. make my little argument. KD's got an MVP. He's got a chip. He's an all-time great. I mean, when people look back at the end of this guy's career, you're going to be almost debating if this guy was a top 5 player. I'm not saying he is a top 5. I'd say he probably falls in the range of top 10. But there's no way I can see De'Aaron Fox by the end of his career even making a case of what KD has done already in the league. He's had a lot of unfortunate events bouncing around teams due to honestly circumstances that wasn't his fault, injuries, players leaving. And he's made the most of it every single time. And he also got weed legalized in the league. So there's a lot of things that KD's done net positive for this league. And I know De'Aaron Fox is young and he's kind of a little stud too, but there's no way you can argue that he's going to be doing anything remote to what KD has done already.
Yeah, hey, that was a good argument. So before we did any of this, we had a debate about who we consider a superstar, right? And Kevin Durant, we put in that conversation. De'Aaron Fox, he's still hanging out on the outsides, looking in, right? But let me tell you a little something about De'Aaron Fox. So this is a player that is still very young in his career, who was drafted to the Kings, he was drafted to the Kings, who is a team that was rebuilding at the time. Since that they've drafted him and have been rebuilding, they have been a lot better team. So good of a team that now they're competing every single year in the Western Conference, you know. And they're bright. Their future looks very bright right now, and he is the star player of that team. With that being said, let's talk about someone like Kevin Durant. You know, he was drafted pretty high overall. Was he number 1 overall pick? I don't think so. Number 2 overall pick.
Behind Greg Oden.
Nice. I forgot all about that.
Man, Greg Oden's sad story, man.
But regardless, you know, this was a player that was drafted to the Sonics, and they built around him, and they built a really good team around him. And what did he do? He choked the 3-1 series. I think, was that his MVP year too?
Yes.
What did the Kings do last year?
Well, listen. He choked the 3-1 series to the Warriors, right? See, someone like De'Aaron Fox, if he drops a 3-1 series to the Ops, he's coming back next year stronger. You know what KD did? You know what KD did?
What do you do?
He joined the Ops.
Oh, yeah?
And he got a Mickey Mouse ring.
Right.
So, therefore, I'm telling you right now, you give De'Aaron Fox 3 more years, right? I think that you will see this Kings team constantly competing in the Western Conference Finals.
So a little argument to say with that is, first off, it's not a fraudulent lien. The team they beat was the Cavs, which arguably, I mean, they went to the finals like 3 years in a row together. Greatest teams to probably be assembled as those two teams, in my opinion, one of them. So first off,
he joined the best team ever.
Oh yeah, and he got a chip out of it and got named himself as a
the
great.
Mickey Mouse
How many
ring
people
I
win
just
rings?
referenced.
How many people win rings in this league? And I don't even think
Not a
De'Aaron
whole
Fox
lot.
has even made it close last year. All this hype around the Kings going to the playoffs, and they windowed out, and De'Aaron Fox did not play great. So all I'm gonna say is KD, United, no matter who's around him, he's going to put up a bucket. And honestly, he would have went to the finals when he was on the Nets too if his foot wasn't on that damn line when he shot that 3. But it got counted as a 2 and ended up going home.
I'm glad you brought that up because the one thing that I will close with about Kevin Durant is you look at someone like Kevin Durant, this man has had nothing but super teams around him almost his entire career. You look at someone like De'Aaron Fox.
So what De'Aaron Fox did
This
without
is a team
Sabonis?
from Sacramento that built.
They had to
from
trade
the
stuff for
trenches.
Sabonis.
They built from the dirt up, and look what they got.
Did they?
Now
I
they're
kind of think they
competing.
traded Tyrese Halliburton, who could have been a star, took over De'Aaron Fox to get Sabonis, just so he could shine. So I'm gonna end it with that because they would never do that for KD. They built around him.
Yeah, but I think De'Aaron
All right, we'll
Fox
go
is
what
right
we
there.
got. That was a good debate. That was the best. That was as close to first take as we're gonna get right there.
That was a clip in itself right there.
That was a good argument, though, Nate. That was good.
All right, I'm gonna just go with somebody who I think had the best points, repeated himself the least. I'm gonna go with Nate.
That's crazy.
I'll go Kyler on this one.
All right, that's all right.
That's not. We all
So
had
we
draws.
all tied.
So then I'll go against Kyler because y'all went against the
Yeah,
championship.
let me
last
go
time.
against Dom because we're gonna start spitting some real facts out here.
Honestly, I'm cool because I just want to listen.
Yeah, that's good.
All right, so you guys care if me and Dom go for a little trip real quick?
Nah, y'all can.
Let me
y'all
go
can
debate
at
some
it.
Dom.
This is the video then. This what it's all about.
Y'all can go.
All right, hold
Just so
on.
you know, me and Nate are going to hard critique you guys.
100%. You got it.
That's Jalen Brunson.
Wow.
All right, because I don't even know who. All right, let's just respin.
right.
You call. You want first or second?
You got Jalen
Okay,
Brunson.
before we go,
Yeah, because I didn't know who was even getting that.
I'll go first.
All right, grab player. This is your first player.
I like it.
Bam. I mean, that's a good argument.
You got Sabonis in there.
Ooh, that's a good little matchup. Okay.
Jamal Murray
That's
versus
okay.
Bam.
That's a good little matchup, actually.
Real quick, the two second fiddles of their team.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
So they are in similar positions.
Yep. All right. Well, that's a good segue into my point because people talk about Bam's the second fiddle, right? Well, the Heat this year, he's been the number one option. Offensively, defensively, he's done it all for this team. He's rallying them. He's their leader on and off the court, man. I'm talking about a dude who is who Jamal Murray plays with, Jokic. He is the light version of that, and that's hard to be. I mean, he can facilitate, shoot mid-ranges. He can play defense. When you think about Bam Adebayo, first team all NBA defense, that's what you think about. You're thinking about the rim protector of your team. And to speak on Jamal Murray a little bit, plays with the best player in the league. Enough said.
Well, that was a pretty low argument. First off, let me get
shots before you said
yeah, that wasn't enough to beat this. So first off, I think Jamal Murray is the most underrated point guard in the entire league because he is backlash behind Nikola Jokic. When Nikola Jokic doesn't play, Jamal Murray is literally like the face of the franchise. I mean, it's a great situation that he's in. They got a chip out of it, first off. I don't think Bam has a chip yet. So Jamal Murray is already a ring winner. He's young, has a higher ceiling than, honestly, I think Bam does. Because Bam really, you said it himself, can shoot mid-ranges and block. Good. There's a lot of people in the league can do that. Now tell me people who are doing step-back threes, spin fades, and is the most underrated player. That's Jamal Murray. I'm not going to discredit Bam. I think he is a great player, and they do look better this year with him. But when Jamal Murray's out, I mean, the Nuggets were losing. Yeah, Reggie Jackson had some games, but they were losing. Now that he's back, they're hot again. Like, the Nuggets are on full squadron. That alone proves that Jamal Murray is a big essence to this team because Jokic can't do it all. Because if you can't have perimeter scoring, then what are we going to do? So with that being said, we got a chip winner. We're going to go with Jamal Murray.
I got one rebuttal. Jamal Murray can't even facilitate his social media right.
That was a really bad
I was
rebuttal.
hoping someone would mention it.
Oh, yeah? Well, he showed the whole world he was getting some slob. That's what I'm saying. After he got his chip.
All right. Who won? Who won?
Bro, I'm not going to lie. I think Kyler just killed his chances by just saying
What
that.
you mean? He said social media.
That wasn't even close. Dom won.
Y'all
Tyler,
hate.
you can't sit there and do a debate and then say, well, this person that I'm arguing against, he is good at this. He does do this. Like,
No.
you're hyping up
So-
the other player.
What did I say that was discrediting about Bam? I didn't want to discredit them. He's a good player.
I know, but
He came out. I actually think I make a better point by saying he's good because he was calling Jamal Murray trash, and I made a good point still. Honestly, I disagree with what you're saying. You guys are the judges. I think the comments should vote for this one because they don't know what they're talking about. Another pull for the basketball. I'm going to put it up on Instagram.
Who you think won, Nate? You be the deciding factor.
Bro, I'm just enjoying myself right now, to be
I was
honest.
just tweaking. I don't really care. That was still fun to do.
I'm going to... He kind of had me until he started talking about...
The schlob.
Yeah, give me down.
All right, man. I'll take this first chip.
I'll leave it to the Instagram, but
All right, that was a good segment. It's going to be recurring, so check with us and check the thumbnail out, man. Happy New Year. Don't party too hard. Well, pop this video up on your New Year party and get it going. Let's roll, y'all.
peace.
Peace.